Okay.
Go. Okay. Hey, everybody. It's Jen Michelle, one of our co-hosts from Beauty and Bullshit. I'm here with Lauren and,
hey guys.
And Kelly Lynn Adams.
Hi.
So we actually thought it was a great idea to bring back Kelly Lynn since we were speaking about so many great things, especially one thing that we're all dealing with now is anxiety. So I just kind of wanted to introduce everybody and let's do it.
Kelly, welcome.
Thank you for having me back, guys. How are you guys doing?
As best as we can, right?
Yeah.
Going off of what Jen said, you know, we finished when we had you on the show talking about anxiety. And I feel like if you didn't have it before, everybody has to have it now. If they don't, they are some strong people. Because I'm suffering, and I think a lot of people are. So going on that, give us anything, any type of advice, anything you could tell us. I'm open ears right now.
Yeah. So I have what I've been doing. Like I told you on the interview, there's so many techniques that you can do, and some people may like none of them. Some people may like one of them. But I think first I want to say that I think it's completely normal what anyone is going through right now. Like the feelings are coming up. Like I have up days, I have down days. It's just, we're all going through this together. And I think that's one thing that we can, you know, find grace and ease with. But you're gonna notice some people are gonna fall into a depression. Some people are gonna get anxiety, you know, very high anxiety. Some people are going to just kind of be like at a breaking point, you know? So I think it affects us all in different ways, at different days, different hours. And I think it's okay. Like it's honor where you're at, I think. And it's being, you know, accepting of where you are at right now. You know, I've been on social media a lot and I've seen a lot of people that are really like high, you know, and some people that are not that high, they can't even watch them or they'll block them because it's too much, right? Because when you're, you know, in anxiety or deep depression, like you just don't resonate with things. So I would say first thing is to honor where you're at, honor the feelings that are coming up. We're all having them. If someone says they're not, you know, having feelings or maybe a little depressed or anxiety or sad or crying, like they're probably lying.
Yeah.
Feel better.
Because we all have it. We're all kind of, it's like a grieving, it's stressful, it's all the things. People, you know, even in people in my life, like I know people, we're all connected to someone either that we know has the virus or passed away from the virus or being affected in some capacity. So I think we all need to accept we're all in this together and as a world. I was on a world meditation last night where there's like 30,000 people meditating at the same time, which is really cool. But you know, some people aren't into meditation, right? So I'm gonna share some of the techniques that I have been doing personally. There's so many more, but I have like 4 to share. And you know, the difficult times, I heard this the other day, difficult times can either define us, define us, develop us, or diminish us. So, you know, we get to choose, and it's okay to choose if you want to be down. Like, it's okay. Like, we all have choice. You don't have to be positive in this moment. And the question is, you know, there's going to be a long time for this, right? And we have to decide like how we want to come out of that. But sometimes that's a lot of pressure because you're like, oh shit, I have to, I'm cursing. Oh,
no, it's okay.
Yeah. But I have to, build a business or do all these things. And when we come out of it, I have to be like, I have to be the next Uber. Like that doesn't necessarily have to happen. It's a process. But I think we have to be okay with everything that comes up. Because some days you're going to be really motivated and some days you're going to be really down, and some weeks you might be down
100%.
Yeah, forever.
Sorry,
So there's 4 techniques. The first technique actually you can do with kids, which I love. And it's literally, they can be any age, but it's literally like sitting down. You can have them close your eyes and you can do it with them, or they can keep their eyes open, but it's literally like, it's a hand mantra, and it's a mantra that you say. You can say it silently or you can say it out loud, or under your breath, but it's literally your thumb And then your thumb connects to your point finger, your middle, your ring, and your pinky. So the mantra is like every time you say a word, you touch your thumb with your hand. So it's peace begins with me. So peace
Oh, I like that.
with me. So peace begins with me. And then you do that 10 times. So you can do that with your kids. You can have them sit down and do that, like say it out loud, or you can do it silently and they can close their eyes. But when you do that 10 times, you're kind of repeating, like, if you say it out loud, it's always better just because it's, you know, your voice is your vibration, right? So it's when you're saying peace begins with me and you're actually doing like a physical thing with your hands, it helps the mind-body connection. Yeah.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So you could do that with your kids, you know, and I think some schools may be doing that, like some schools are doing meditation, but that's kind of a mantra that they do. So the peace begins with me. So that's really helpful. And doing it 10 times can be helpful. The second thing that I've been doing, actually right before I go to bed, you can do this anytime, but you can go right on YouTube, and again, it's sound healing. So they're called sound baths. So it's basically like Tibetan bowls or wind chimes or, you know, it could be any sound, but there's actually people and instructors and healers that are doing these sound baths or sound healings. So you could literally just Google, like on YouTube, like sound bath or sound healing, and whatever sound you like last night I did something with wind chimes where the person was like doing the wind chimes for like 15, 20 minutes. And I just closed my eyes and I let the sound like really, you know, you're just hearing the sound. You can do that for 5 minutes or a couple minutes. So I do that right before I go to bed because I just find it really relaxing. And I just like, that is a non-negotiable for me. It has been. And I have done sound baths in the past, but I think now it's like become a ritual for me.
And I just want to say that works really good with kids as well.
Yeah.
Like very, very well. So I love that.
Yeah. So it's really powerful, you know, and it's just, and allow yourself, like, you know, you're not going to feel like 110% better maybe after you do it the first time. Like, this is not a quick fix. And like I said in the interview before, it's kind of like brushing your teeth, taking a shower, right? Maybe some of us aren't taking our showers every day. It is what it is. Like, but it's just, these are just tools that now can be in your toolbox. Another thing that I do, it's, there's a lot of techniques out there for breathing, and it's called the 4-7-8 breathing technique. And so what they say, like with breathing techniques, it actually allows your oxygen to get to your brain, and it's kind of like a mantra, like two, or so the breathing technique. So the 4-7-8, this is the only one I do. There's so many out there, but you actually inhale for 4, a count of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, hold your breath for 7, like count of 7, and then release it for a count of 8. And I find that, and you do it four rounds of that. And I find that whenever I do that, it actually just like calms me in the moment. I mean, there's another breathing technique where you kind of like breathe in through one nostril, exhale through the other. But I just like the 4-7-8 because it's actually, your mind is focused on the present moment of counting, like inhale 4, hold 7, exhale 8, and you do that 4 times.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, what am I doing? 4-7-8. Okay. Inhale 4, hold 7, exhale 8.
Yeah.
So, and then I think this has been a game changer for me and a life changer. I first learned it from my mentor, Gabrielle Bernstein, and it's a technique, and I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's called EFT or tapping.
I heard of it. I don't really know too much about it.
Okay. So are you familiar with like acupuncture?
Yes.
Okay. So what it is there's certain acupuncture, there's certain meridian energy lines that, you know, have stored energy like in your body. And when you go to acupuncture, they put the needles in there to release stress, anxiety, to release the muscle, to release the energy fields. So EFT tapping is very similar, but it's your own tapping. So there's a guy that he's amazing. His name's Brad Yates on YouTube, and he does tapping for anything, tapping for anxiety, tapping for abundance, tapping for fear, tapping. You can tap on anything. And so what it is, and this is, if you don't want to do the whole tapping thing, again, on your hand between your pinky and your ring finger, there's a point, like it's just the point right between your pinky and your ring finger, and it's called the gamut point. And if you just tap like at that point, just for a little bit, that actually helps like anxiety. So you just tap, because that's like a pressure point where the anxiety point is. So it's called the gamut point between your ring finger and your pinky, but it's the kind of like the, just right there. So you can tap like right in the middle of that, called the gamut point. But if you want to do it, if you want to tap, there's like a whole, like we can do it if you want, but there's a whole tapping procedure, and where you're tapping is basically here, and like you follow the person. So you don't do this on your own. Like you have to follow the person, because there's mantras that every time. So the pressure points where you're tapping is here, the kind of the side of your hand. And then it's actually at the top of your eyebrow. And now you're going to be touching your face. You better wash your hands. Just a warning.
Rule number one.
Rule number one, wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
You're not like in your eyes. And like, you're just, so you're tapping here. So that's one pressure point. And while you're tapping, you're saying things. So like, as I'm tapping here, I would say, and I know this, so I know that, but the person that has just started, you're not going to know this. That's why you do it with a video. So the instructor will say, like right now, I'll say, you know, even though I feel a lot of anxiety right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then I say it again. Even though I feel extreme anxiety right in this moment, I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Right. And then I go to the eyebrow. So it's like the eyebrow here. It's another point. And then so it's different mantras, right? So as you're tapping, you're saying these mantras, and this could be, you know, I'm really anxious right now. I'm really anxious right now. Like, so it's acknowledging it, right? I'm really anxious right now. And then you tap on the side. I'm really scared right now. I'm really scared right now. Right? So that's another point. And then under your eye, you could say, I'm totally freaking out right now. Totally freaking out right in this moment right now. And then underneath your nose, it could be like, and that's totally okay. And that's totally okay. Right? Another point.
Especially, oh no.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, especially people that can't go to acupuncture and do that stuff. No, this is so great, because they could, you know, like.
Yeah. And so the chin is another one. Like it could be like, you know, I have anxiety around money. Like, how am I going to make money? Right? How am I going to make money? Right? And then here, where the collarbone is, it could be like, I have no idea how I'm going to make money. I have no idea how I'm going to make money. Right?
Right.
No idea how to make money, how I'm going to make money. And then this other point is right near your bra strap. So it's like, I don't know how I'm going to make money. I don't know how I'm going to make money. Right. So it just, you're tapping there. And then on the top of your head, and it's like, I completely surrender right now. I have no idea how I'm going to make money. Right. So before you start this, you want to identify like, what is the thought that's causing anxiety right now. Right. And then you want to tap accordingly, because there's different sayings, right? So if it's money, anxiety of money, like there's different mantras that you can tap on, right? And you want to rate yourself before you start to tap on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like, 10 is like high anxiety. And so you do a couple rounds of that, you take a deep breath, and then, so the mantras then become positive, right? And it's like, it could be like, even though I feel high anxiety about making money right now, I deeply and completely love myself, right? Even though, right? So, and then it could be like, well, I've made money in the past. I know how to make money because I made money in the past, right? and this is going to be okay. I might not know right now, but I know this is going to be okay, right? And everyone is struggling financially to some impact, right? Or some area of finances. Everyone is. And it's like, I'm not alone in this. You know, everyone's struggling.
Right.
It's like, I struggled before and I made money. You know, I struggled before and I made money. I know how to make money, but maybe I don't know right now exactly how I'm going to do it. Right. And then it's basically tapping those same points with mantras. And so that's what's been helping me too. And then you're supposed to rate yourself on a scale, again, after you're done the process, on a scale 1 to 10. And usually it brings down, you know, like I was at a 9 yesterday, and then I went down to a 4.
Wow.
Right? By just doing whatever I was really stressed or caused me anxiety about. Then you know, so I literally looked on YouTube, you know, Brad Yates, and he has like tons of videos. I mean, there's other people that do this EFT tapping, but it just releases energy, right? And it's like you have to keep doing it, but it might help you in the moment. So those are just
thank you.
those are just some of the things. And some of them sound a little woohoo, but I promise if you try it, like I would just say try it. If you don't resonate with it, like that's totally okay. There's other things like journaling, you know, putting pen to paper is powerful. So and I think we just all need to be aware of like allowing yourself to feel, and then we can choose if we want to shift, right? And we might not want to shift in this moment. So that's what I have. I mean, there's so much more, but I felt like those tips.
No, and I love that, because I think I haven't heard anything like that yet, you know, and I think we all need something that is different than everything else that's out there too, you know? And I like that, because with me, I have kids that deal with anxiety too. So that's something that they could do as well. And we could do, you know, even together at some point, just the calming at night. Yeah. The times I'm trying tonight.
There's also an app. I use it. It's called Calm. And that's a good app too and it's on everything, like anxiety, sadness, depression, money. It has to do with everything. They have different sounds, and then they also do meditation. It's hard for me to meditate. It's actually a really quick funny story. I tried to meditate. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try it in bed. Like, let me just, like, it's my quiet place. So I lay down, I put the Calm on, you know, have my headphones, it's quiet. I'm super relaxed. It's over. All of a sudden, I hear my dog licking himself. And I'm like, really? I'm like, I can't even.
He was meditating too.
Yeah, no, but but that app is also, but Kelly, thank you so much for that, because exactly what Lauren said. I like that we can do it with our kids too, because, you know, I have 3 and all of them are different. And one of them I know is having a little bit of a hard time. So I know, because I am too. This week I had to disconnect for like 2 days. I started crying and I'm not like that. I'm very much, you know, I'm pretty strong, I thought, for the most part, and I like lost it completely. Lauren was actually the person I lost it with.
But she's my friend that I call up that I'm like, make me laugh, like do something.
I'm the strong one.
I'm losing my shit. I'm losing it. It was crazy to have, you know,
the
it
opposite.
reversed, but it's also why I love her so much, is because we are there for each other, you know, and you need that kind of balance. But that's what I think you were saying too, Kelly, is that like everybody's going through this. The people that you never thought, like, we're all kind of in this different spot now where we're all, you know, we may be fine, but one day it just snaps and, you know, we're not fine.
100%. It's kind of like, well, this is kind of like grief. When someone passes away, right? It's like, okay, the strongest people, you know, that you think, like, they'll hold it together, but like everyone has to grieve. Everyone has to feel the feelings, because if you don't, it'll manifest. And I know this because I have chronic illness too. It manifests in your body, right? Like, and if you don't get it out, it takes on a different form, like whether you're overeating, having sex over, like all these things, like, so it's like, it's really being like, okay to let it go. And I would say, like, find a support, like a support group, or like your friends, or, you know, for me, it's, I'm connected with my coach and this like incubator, right? So that's my friends, like it's a saving grace, because it's like I'm coaching and serving people all the time. And it's like, well, my cup gets empty too. So it's like, how do I fill up, right? So I think that's so critical, you guys, like bringing up that point, because it's like your friends, the people that you can be real with and honest. And even if it's not like a consistent incubator or support group or a Zoom happy hour, like maybe it's like just going into a Zoom group that you get invited to with like perfect strangers. Sometimes that's like a good thing too, right? To be like honest and open with perfect strangers. Like it all depends on what you feel, right? Because some people, don't want to be vulnerable with certain friends. Like it's so personal for everybody. But I think it's like you need that support system, like whether it's friends, family, these Zoom things, virtual, anything, mentor, coach, someone you look up to. It's like everyone needs that, and everyone deserves it, because it's your cup. You can't function, and let's not even talk about serving other people right now. It's like you can't even function right on a normal basis if you're totally depleted. So
that's so true.
You couldn't have said it any better. If your cup is empty, no, but it's so true, because for me, I'm usually just with everyone. I'm the oldest of all my siblings, so I'm usually the stronger one out of all, you know what I mean? And then not with me and Lauren, but like if Lauren ever has anything, like she knows she can call me up, we'll laugh. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I don't even know what came over me. Like I literally just started crying, freaking out for nothing. And it was like the stupidest thing triggered me, because I got
I'm finally like, let it out, girl. Let it out. This is good. Like you need that.
Yeah, no, but you couldn't have said it any better. It's true. And the tapping, I'm going to try that, because I actually heard about it. So thank you. That was great.
Yeah, I think people, and listen, I know so many people that, and there's no shame in this. Not everyone can sit still and be quiet, like, and just like do nothing, right? Like for some people, meditation is hard, but like, I'll say this, meditation can be like washing your dishes. Meditation could be like walking your dog outside. Like meditation is really anytime you get into like a repetitive, non-thinking action, or it could be silence. So, my friend, she could never meditate like she could never sit still. She needed to be doing it. So her meditations was like going on the walk with her dog, because going on the walk with her dog, because it was like, like she was just mindless, but she was still doing something, right? So she just needed to be stimulated in a different way. So the tapping, that's what's helpful. And even the breathing, because you're actually doing something, not just sitting there doing nothing. And that's okay too. Like meditation doesn't mean sitting on a pillow in complete silence.
So a little thing. Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. Go. No, go.
When I used to have panic attacks, I always had a dog. And before we had kids, I mentioned before postpartum and that kind of stuff, but I would actually lay one of my big golden retrievers on me, and their breathing would get my breathing to a calm, slow level. And they have service dogs and stuff like that. But I always, when you went to the breathing thing, because I have a hard time meditating too, just because having a head full of anxiety, we have a hard time taking those thoughts into a center and not going, whoa, like way out of where it has to go. That's an anxiety thing, as you know. So people that have dogs, that's like a really good thing. If you lay them on you, their breathing is usually, unless they just went for a run, but it can totally, that's why they say they're so calming and everything else. Just petting them and feeling their belly go up and down. It's like my favorite thing to just calm down is petting my dog, but laying them on me.
Yeah.
It's like a stress blanket. What is that? Like a weighted blanket?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's funny.
Like, I don't need a blanket. I just lay my 100-pound dog on me.
Yeah.
There you go.
That breathing is the whole thing. It sounds crazy, but that's like my little thing that brings me down.
And just think, like, it's not like, this isn't going to last forever, even though it feels like it. Like, we are going to get out of it. It's just managing through, right? It's like managing the day to day where, the month of March felt like a year, so it's, but the days are going quick sometimes. So it's just, being gentle with yourself, like
Yeah.
being okay to cry, being okay to like let loose. I mean, this is something we've never experienced before.
No.
You know, and I don't have kids, so I can't even imagine, right? Like it's there's another stress that's like when you have kids, right? So
Yeah.
and some people are suffering in silence, and that shouldn't be. And what I would say to that is like people that are suffering in silence, like just pick up the phone or text someone, or right, you don't have to suffer in silence. Everyone's suffering, so
Yeah.
know that like you're not the only one, and it's okay to like ask for help. And I think as women we don't ask for help.
No.
Because
And like you
we're
said,
used to being strong.
yes. Yeah. And like you said, this will pass. This will be over at some point, and we need to remember that. Yeah.
100%. And I would say, I would tell people, like, think of like some really crazy stuff that happened to you in the past. Like, did you lose a family member, right? Did someone pass away? Did you struggle financially ever in the past? Like, you've gotten through those moments, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you're going to get through this. You know,
Right.
it's like you've come so far. It's like you've gotten through so many struggles and so many times where it tested you. Like, you will get through this. Now we're just all going through it, right? At the same time, and at the same time, which is beautiful, you know?
Well, one thing you said that kind of connected with me is that you said we're mourning. And we are, no matter what it is. It's the loss of a job, the loss of not seeing your work employees, that their work, you know, people we work with is our family.
Yep.
My mom,
Your family.
Your family. I was just gonna say your mom, my mom, I see almost every day. Now it's, you know, through this, friends, just even the loss of the hustle of work that me and Jen love to do. I'm sure you too, Kelly. Like, so the fact that you said the morning of that, like that made so much connection with me on that
Yes.
I'll sit on the couch sometimes. I'm like, why am I just sad? Like, I have my family. Thank God nobody, like, really in my personal family, like, everybody is healthy and well. Why am I so sad?
Yeah.
And that just, yeah.
And right. And I totally hear you on that. And I think everyone's going through that at like, right, in different times. And I would say this too, another thing before I go to bed, or even when I wake up, it's like, I think about, okay, what are the bare minimum that I'm grateful for? Like, bare minimum meaning, okay, I don't have the coronavirus, right?
Yeah.
Or, oh my God, I feel okay today. Or like, meaning healthy.
Right.
I have eyes to watch social media, or, you know, watch Zoom with my family. Or I have ears, I have my, right? Like, I have my limbs. Like, I literally go there. Like, I go to the bare minimum that I have. Do I have food in the house? Yes, right? Do I need to go shopping? Yeah, probably. But it's like, I have food to like get me through the next 2 days or 3 days, whatever, right? So it's like going to the bare minimum, because then it's like, it just shifts a little bit, you know, when you do that, or even if you just do like 1 to 3 things. But I know that has helped me in some, you know, some moments of giving myself peace. Because it's like, okay, what can I be grateful for? Like, there's nothing I can be grateful. Like, some days you'll just, and you don't have to do it every day. Like, that's the thing. It's like, you don't have to do any of this at all. You know, it's your choice. And I think the mourning and the grief process, right? You go up and down. You have moments of ups and downs, and that's okay. So.
Thank you. That was so. I don't even have any more questions. I think it's time for a game.
Yeah, a game. That's right. Let's break this with a B&B game. Okay. Wait. I have all my little. Oh, here we go. Okay. So, really crazy, by the way, when you were on our show, and I said if you are deserted in an island and you can only have. Don't you think that's kind of weird of what's happening now? And like. Don't you just, right? Can we just talk about that real quick?
Yeah.
Because I was saying to Jen, because of this, you'll hear the question for the game. I think this is so weird. Because this was, when we had you on the show, none of this was happening.
Yeah.
So I find that really, really crazy.
And it was foreshadowing, because like we brought up anxiety, like it's.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that's just, I can't. Okay, so for this game, name 3 things. Only 3. Because you're going to want to name more. I'll say the first 3 things you are going to do as soon as we're out of quarantine.
No.
Yeah.
And it could only be 3. So your top 3 things. So like you're out, you're good. First 3 things you're gonna do.
Okay. One is like beauty. Like you got like like everything, like my nails, my hair, my like waxing, like
yes,
a facial, like I'm gonna look like a gorilla. Like, literally, I'm gonna look like a gorilla after this like is all over. So that is like number one.
That's your number one.
Booking all those appointments because I can't with myself. Number 2, I know this is gonna sound so crazy, but like, so you know, I'm like by myself, right? So, so I am going to, and you know, I'm talking to someone. I was dating someone in California. So I think I need to be around a man.
Yes. Love it.
I'm just being real.
Go get it, Kelly.
Good thing you're doing number 1 before
number 2. We're going in order.
That's right. Because I can't see a man as if I'm a gorilla.
No, like I'm a gorilla. Yeah.
Yeah, no. And then the third thing is I think just being around people, like my family, my friends, like I like whoever invites me somewhere, I'm going. Like we're all gonna be like dashing like in the middle of the streets. I don't care, street party. Like I think just being around like family and friends and you know, going to events, like just being around people and however that looks like. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Jen, you're 3?
Okay. 1, I'm going to go to Brooklyn. I miss my parents and my grandparents so much and my sisters. I haven't seen them. So I'm first going to Brooklyn. Then I am going to get waxed. And then I'm going out drinking and dancing. I want a night of dancing. So it's funny. There's like, I'm like, I will be on tables. I will be on top of the book. I was like, and then we're going to go to after hours. I'm ready for it. Exactly. I'm like, you want to go out even if I'm not feeling like it? Yeah, I'm going to go out.
Like 9 a.m. on a Tuesday. She's like, I'm going out. Mimosas.
How about you, Lauren?
So I'm going to hug everybody. I'm going to be hugging strangers. I'm going to be the creepy person that's like, hey, who wants a hug? I love you. So that being said, my family, like I'm going to run to my mom and dad and my nanny and give them the biggest hugs ever. So family, definitely that. Waxing, beauty, hair with your number 1, Kelly, is happening like the works. That's gonna probably be like a 2-day event.
Part 1, part 2.
Yes. And then my number 3 is go back to work because I really, that's part of my down thing. Like I always work. I love it. I need it. It's part of my need to feel like myself. Yeah. So after my full beauty appointment, I'm going to go to work, but that has to happen first. Yeah.
It's so funny. So I want to share a story. So I got this, you know, how you go to tarot reader cards and tarot readers and have your cards done and everything. So I had a reading in the beginning of the year and she said that, oh my gosh, she's like, everyone, this is going to be a summer of love and celebration. Like this summer, everyone's just going to be out and about. And I was like, I wonder why. Like, it's so weird for someone to say, like, everybody. Like, she just forecasted.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she said, like, everyone's going to be in love. It's like a big celebration. Like, the whole, I'm like,
oh my God.
Yeah, and I was like, that's weird. Like, you know, I was like, I think she's a little off. Like, I wouldn't be celebrating, you know, like.
I'm going to be in the middle. It's me in the middle.
It's going to be like the 60s all over again.
Oh, yeah. Parks, like, who knows what's going to happen, but I'm just saying.
So many babies. So many babies.
Not even that. Like, remember, even before this, people were just like, if you looked at someone weird, they'd be like, do I know them? Now people are just going to be like, Like it's just open arms.
Yeah.
If you like, and I'm a little bit, you know me with the germaphobe, that might actually break after this. I might be like, you seem dirty. Come love me. I don't know.
Like a bum on the street. Come here, honey.
I think once there's a vaccine or like a cure, like people, that'll ease so much of the anxiety and stress. So people will be like, okay, if I get it, like at least there's a drug or something.
Yeah. Something,
like
yeah.
It's just, so I think people that like all the, because I'm OCD too, like I so it's like, but I think once they, discover something that'll break, hopefully.
Yeah.
So,
oh my God.
I know.
Right now I'm like cleaning like my groceries. I'm like, who? Like,
yeah,
it's crazy.
Insanity. But I don't feel like this had to happen, because I don't want to say that because of people that have, suffered from this. But I just feel like this kind of maybe let people see what's important and what's not, maybe kind of checked people on perspective. And that's really what I think, because I'm not a nasty girl. Like I may have a resting bitch face, but I'm not. Like if I see somebody in the street, I smile. Like it's just what I do. And you know how many times, like I'm from New York, from Brooklyn originally, right? So it's funny because now I'm in Jersey, and every time I go back to New York in the city, I'm like, oh my God, they really, like a lot of New Yorkers really, they don't have that friendly factor anymore. I think everyone's so busy with just the coming and going. And hopefully this kind of, everyone comes out of this a little bit nicer too to everybody, because I feel like there was no compassion right before this. I don't know. I just feel like everything was like getting so chaotic that it was insane. I seen a meme or something like Mother Nature is putting us all on timeout or something,
Yeah. I mean, from a spiritual perspective, I'll share my opinion. I mean, some people won't agree with it, but it's, it had to happen because as a collective consciousness, we were from all different levels, from greed to compassion, like you said, Jen, to, finding inner strength. Like it's affecting us in the environment. Like, something had to happen. It always does, like these couple of years, like, 10 years ago was the recession. Like, so I think these things happen for us to rise up and become better as humans. And shift.
Absolutely.
Things need to be shifted, even though we don't like it and we won't want it. And it's sad. And it's, it's all for the highest good, even though so many people are suffering. But it makes us stronger too. While it's going on, it's just, it's kind of like the unthinkable. So
absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Kelly, you are amazing.
And no, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for,
You're so uplifting. Like that is what, when I met you the day when we did the show, the first thing I said when you left, I'm like, she's so uplifting.
I was like, I told
really
you.
It's like a positive vibe.
Don't worry. I have times when I'm crying my bathroom floor. Like I said, I used to call this number. It was like 800. They have an 800 prayer line where you could pray with people on the phone. So like, I know in one part of my life, I would just be crying on my bathroom floor all the time, calling the prayer line. Like 100%.
Wow. No, and thank you for sharing. Thank you for everything today. It was so great. I never want to get off the phone with her. I never want her to leave. Just
and
have Kelly on speed dial.
Yes. Can you tell everybody again where they could
follow you?
Just Kelly Lynn Adams, my website, and then everything's from, social
everything's
media.
Kelly Lynn Adams.
Yeah.
Yep. But thank you, Kelly, and thank you everyone for watching Beauty and Bullshit. And Kelly, thank you again. Like I said, this is great.
Of course. Thank you guys for having me on and doing what you're doing. So thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Bye.
Okay. Bye, Kel.